You know what's tough? Trying to still have fun playing your games while you're making videos. You're trying to make them funny. You're trying to make them informative. You're trying to get people to like and subscribe. This is your poorly aging, sarcastic, PC, witty gamer right here, and we're in the temple of the pagan god Maris, a false god, of course, and we're going to ask about
Good
her
to see
right
you.
now.
How may I help you, my son?
I wanted to know more about the temple to the false god Mara, false goddess, I guess it would be.
Wonderful. Where to begin?
At the beginning.
Mara is the goddess of love. The temple spreads her gifts by tending to the sick, the poor, and the lost. We also perform wedding ceremonies for all the loving couples in Skyrim.
I hope you mean male-female couples and not like male-male, female-female, or... And hopefully you don't mean couples of different species, like a human marrying one of those wood elves or something disgusting like that. You're saying I could have a wedding at the temple of the false goddess?
Yes, if you were ready, of course. Are you familiar with how marriage works in Skyrim?
I might. Could you remind me and all the people watching this video, all the people who like and subscribe and just can't get enough of the poorly aging, sarcastic, PC witty gamer?
Typically, love in Skyrim is as earnest as the people who live here. Life is hard and short, so there's little room for long courtship. A person who is looking for a spouse simply wears an amulet of Mara about the neck, showing they are available. When another person shows interest and the two agree to be together, one of them comes to the temple and we arrange a ceremony.
Sounds barbaric. I'd like to buy an amulet of Mara.
Here you are. Now, remember, people in Skyrim respond to deeds. You'll find more people interested in your love if you help them. Good luck.
I knew there
Mara
was a
bless
catch. I knew there was a catch. I have to do things for
May you
people.
return to her benevolence in safety.
Am I supposed to be leveling up at this point? Nope. I'm just close to leveling up. Okay. Okay, so who could I do deeds for? There is a particular person I like to marry every time I'm in Skyrim. And no, it's not Calcelmo.
Stay alive? Why take a chance?
Wow, these flowers, they sure grew back quickly. I mean, we were here just minutes ago. These must be magic flowers. By the way, if anybody sees a body, let me know. There's a whole quest that has to do with finding a body here in this region. And it's kind of variable where the body will be dumped. I've seen it as far away as this casket. I usually see it.
Disrespect the law and you disrespect me.
Dude, chill out, man. Nobody's disrespecting you or the law. Now, where can I buy some skooma? It's a joke. I don't use skooma. I don't even drink mead. I wonder why that gate's open. Did you guys leave the gate open? Where's... Oh, there he is. Dude, you need to cover up better. G-rated, you know, channel.
I'm really getting tired of your excuses. When you borrowed the money, you said you'd pay it back on time and for double the usual
Yeah,
fee.
everybody says that. Well, they don't say double the
How
usual
was I
fee.
to know the shipment would get robbed?
Next time, keep your plans quiet and nothing will happen.
It don't mean you're weak. They just leave their merchandise out for people to kite. Goat hide. Snowcat pelt. Icewood pelt. Wolf pelt. Elk hide pelt. We don't want to get rid of our bear pelts. Winter troll.
How are you doing? You go?
No complaints here. You?
Oh, not bad. Keeping one hand glued to my coin purse, of course, but not bad.
Good.
You're afraid Indigo is going to rob you? I didn't even know this about Indigo. Although, come to think of it, he was planning on stealing from me. He did confess that. A blessing on your house, level up, level up. Or even Mickey Mouse, level up, level up. For people who don't get this joke, it's kind of based on Mickey Mouse, but also on Fiddler on the Roof. Okay, I definitely need some eyeglasses.
That reminds me when I first started.
Okay, oh, we ran out of... We don't have enough stuff to make, eyeglasses for all of us. How embarrassing. I think I just made a little over 300 lockpicks, if I can do the math properly. Oh, I can make a Maget backpack as well. Now we can each have one. I don't think we're all Magets, but... Oh, I wanted to make some ignore tokens as well. Where are the... Yeah. Okay. What these are for is so that my follower framework ignores the people who have these. So now,
I
for
like this
instance-
Lucian fellow, my friend. He may look a little flimsy, but I think he is stronger than he knows.
I need to trade
You
some
give
things with
me
you.
best equipment, yes?
No, definitely not. But that's a nice thought. Keep thinking good thoughts about me. So, you know what? I'll give you some eyeglasses. What else was I going to give you? Oh, an ignore token. This way, he will work the way he was programmed to work. meaning that meaning as long as it's in his. So he was programmed as a follower.
What's next?
But followers can use a framework
What's new?
to tell him what to do.
Oh, please, give me all the good stuff.
So generic followers generally use the framework. And oh, I was supposed to give him I forgot to give him I forgot to give the other guy a backpack. I always forget something. I need to give you the last set of eyeglasses so that y'all will look stupid and I won't. Where are the eyeglasses? Okay. You actually look pretty good in them. And I need to give you the ring. The ignore token. Okay.
All right then.
Now you both have glasses. Oh,
No matter the weather, Riften always smells lovely. It is a... You want me to lighten your load?
yeah, I want to get you a backpack, dude. Just so that, you know, we'll all look good together. There.
Okay then.
Come
Now-
to see Balaman perform miracles with steel, eh?
No, not at all.
Hey,
Hadn't even entered my mind. Okay, let's improve. Okay, I can only improve one piece of armor. That
what are
was
you doing that
awful.
for?
To sharpen my. Don't you know about smithing? You're supposed to know about smithing. That's what I was doing it for, to sharpen my weapon.
What brings you to Balaman today? Looking for some armor? A weapon, perhaps?
I've heard good things about your work.
Come to see Balaman perform miracles with steel, eh? To be honest, I don't blame you. If you're looking for a smith, you found one of the best.
You seem quite proud of your work.
Smithing's been in my blood for generations. I owe my success to my forefathers and their recipe for flame. The secret is my forge. It consumes fire salts, a strange mineral that burns as hot as red mountain lava.
That might be impressive if you were looking at me while we were having this conversation. It's kind of rude for you to talk to me with your back to me.
Well, it was. Sadly, this forge is dying, and I've used the last of my fire salts. If I can't feed it soon, it may grow cold.
You know, you're a total stranger. I'm a stranger to you, so why don't I just offer to get some for you?
You will? Thank you. 10 pinches of fire salt should give me all I need to bring this forge back to life.
I don't think you understand the concept of sarcasm. I imagine current events are keeping you busy.
People say I'm making gold off of other people's misery, but what else would I do? Smithing is all I know. Next time one of my shields deflects a killing blow, they'll change their tune.
Where can I find fire salts?
A flame Atronach's body might provide fire salt. They're dangerous creatures that can be summoned by wizards. Of course, it would be much easier to check with an alchemist. They occasionally have them for sale. Remember, nothing but genuine fire salts will do. The forge knows the difference.
Now see, this is more of what I talked about that everything you run across in these games is fake. So you're not really the one. You're not the Dragonborn or anything like that. It's just the drunken louts in their cups realize they don't have to do any of their work. They could just sit around in their bar and drink. Well, she's walking like a hooker. We don't need that on our G-rated
If you've got the coin,
channel.
you've come to the right place. Pull up a seat.
So let me explain this.
Welcome to the Bee and Barb, my lord. If I can interest you in one of our special drinks, you let me know.
So one guy says to another guy, I bet I can get the next guy who walks into this bar do something totally insane. The second guy says, yeah, like what? And the guy says, I bet I can get a total stranger to mow my lawn. Second guy says, you're on. Then the second guy thinks about it for a minute and he goes, wait a minute. I'm going to do something even crazier. First guy says, what? Says, wait, I'll show you. So then you walk into the bar. You don't even drink. But you know a tavern is where people are, and you're trying to meet people. I'm going to sit down while I explain this to you.
Hey, Talon, get off your lazy tail and take care of the customer.
Keep your scales on. You want a drink?
Hello.
Welcome to the Bee and Barb, my lord. Could I interest you in one of our special drinks?
You mentioned you serve special drinks. I mean, you mentioned it like 10 seconds ago.
3, in fact. They're my own recipe. Brought them over here from my days as a bartender in Gideon. First is the Velvet Lechance, which is a mixture of blackberry, honey, spiced wine, and a touch of nightshade. Perfectly safe, I assure you. Second, we have the White Gold Tower, which is heavy cream with a layer of blended mead, lavender, and dragon's tongue on top. Last, and only for the bravest of souls, we have the Cliff Racer, which is firebrand wine, cyrodiilic brandy, Flynn, and Sujama.
What's the word around Riften?
With the war, I have a feeling there's going to be trouble. It's getting dangerous outside the walls.
What can you tell me about Riften?
Riften can be a dangerous place. Trust me, you do not want to live in this city.
If it's that bad, why not leave?
It's Kirava. I care for her.
Kirava,
Besides, as bad as it seems, it's better than Black Marsh. Don't worry about me. I'll be just fine. The time will come when we can just walk away from here.
Just walk away, Renee. You won't find me following you back home. How did you meet Kirava?
I met her when I wandered into Riften a few years ago. Been smitten with her ever since. In fact, I'm thinking of asking her to marry me. In Black Marsh, tradition dictates we present a potential mate a unique wedding ring to represent our future bond. I already have the gold band, but all I need are 3 flawless amethysts to complete the setting.
Yeah, you're making my case, so I thank you for coming over. I can find those for you.
I was hoping you'd offer. I didn't think it was my place to ask such a favor of you. I thank you.
Can you tell me about the wedding ring, like I really care?
Every Argonian wedding proposal band is supposed to have 3 flawless amethysts as part of their design. 2 of the gems, the ones on the outside, represent the couple to be married. 1 for the husband, 1 for the wife. The amethyst in the center represents the Hist, the entity that all Argonians consider a sacred part of our lives.
Everyone here is a complete and utter pagan. What's the word around Riften?
The roads to the mines and to the other cities are thick with bandits, and worse. Makes me long for the old days.
Okay,
If you'll excuse me, I have other things to attend to.
so he just made my case, and I'll explain it to you. So remember, there's the two guys. They're bragging about getting a stranger to do things for you, and they're in a bar, and you walk into the bar, and so the second guy says to you, "You're the one you were foretold of thousands of years ago. You are the special guy, the one." In this game, it would be the Elder Scrolls foretold of your coming. When we get to the Shrine of Azura, the Dunmer chick there will say, "Azura saw you coming," or something like that. You're coming was seen by Azura, something like that. All this stuff to puff you up and make you feel good about yourself. But there's a dark side to it. The reason they're doing this is to get you to do their chores. I mean, think about it. If you walked into a bar and somebody said, "Hey, piece of crap, mow my lawn," you'd say, "Bite me in the direction of Albuquerque." And you'd walk out. And everybody in Skyrim would say, "What's an Albuquerque?" So instead, they say, "It's the one. It's the Dragonborn. It's the one that's in all the prophecies for thousands and thousands of years." And then they give you these tasks. My hat was stolen. Would you retrieve my hat for me, Dragonborn? Oh, special one. I just happen to know the cave it's in, by the way. And it just happens to be on the other side of Skyrim. But you're the Dragonborn. You can handle this. And so, you're a gamer, so you don't turn down any quests. You leave. You go all the way across the continent, or the country, or the
Out with
district,
it.
or whatever it's called, of Skyrim. You find the cave. You don't ask yourself, how does this guy know what dank cave
Yes?
this hat is in? Or how come he hasn't called the city guard,
Out with it.
or some of the many
Yes, lad. Did you
armed,
need something?
armed to the teeth people,
Need something?
they're all around us that he knows. You know, if you live in a city, think about how many people are in the city.
Yes?
Not many. So you probably know everybody on the city guard, and yet they're not asking people on the city guard. They're asking you, the stranger that just walked in.
Need something?
They're telling you you're the Dragonborn. You don't have any evidence that you're the Dragonborn
Out with it.
at all. They're just telling you that. And you believe them because it makes you feel
I'm
good.
waiting.
You're the one. You're the special one. But you don't ask yourself,
Need something?
how does this guy know where the bandits took my hat? And when you go into the cave where the hat is, you don't question having to murder 48 bandits to get at the hat. And when you trudge all the way back, all the way across Skyrim again, to give the guy his hat, you don't question the fact
Yes, lad.
that
Did you
he-
need something?
that he gives you 2 septums as a reward. Even though the arrows you shot into all those enemies cost a lot more than 2 septums. You don't question it because you're the Dragonborn. The Dragonborn would not question helping out a poor, innocent victim of a crime. But what you don't understand is you are the poor, innocent victim of the crime. They made up all the Dragonborn nonsense, all the Elder Scrolls nonsense, all the prophecies, all of that nonsense, so they could sit in a bar on their ever-increasing rear ends and do nothing. That's right. They want to get drunk. They want to feed their fat faces. And they want to bet with each other on how much nonsense they can get you to carry out for them. Oh, it's a family heirloom. Please, go into the cave of orphans' tears and kill 89 human beings to get this priceless heirloom back, and I will reward you. They don't tell you what the reward will be in advance, of course, because you would question it if they told you the whole bit, which is, I will reward you with 1 gold septum after you kill 89 bandits. It's a conspiracy. There is no Dragonborn. Nobody is special. And you've just been taken for a ride. They get to sit around being lazy, and while you're out risking your life for them, they are laughing their butts off at you. That is the story of Morrowind. Fallout. Fallout 2. Fallout 3. Fallout 4. Fallout New Vegas. Oblivion. The Elder Scrolls Online. Skyrim. And pretty much every adventure game there ever was. You are welcome. Go now and live better lives, knowing these truths. By the way, the only reason there's many people at all in that bar is because...
No lollygagging.
No lollygagging? I can't rest as I'm walking through this incredibly dark city at night. What I was going to say is I used mods to add a lot of people to every city, to every road, to every jail, to the Civil War, to all of it. Because as the game shipped, the cities didn't feel like cities. They were nice, and the quests were nice and things like that, but it didn't feel like real cities, because you had these so-called cities, and they had like 6 people living in them. By the way, I also darkened the nights so that they would look more realistic, and I darkened the caves. So you're welcome. If you're seeing a nearly black screen, well, duh, it's dark. Now, the question is, where do we go next? I would like to, and since I'm the decision maker, because I'm the first one to have liked and subscribed, I'm going to Solitude. Once dragons sought to eliminate or enslave all mortal races. We don't know what happened after that because the loading screen went away. Now this is part of an expansion to Solitude.
What is it, KhajKeet?
I'm actually happy he called me KhajKeet, because in the game as it shipped, as well as most Elder Scrolls games, including the Elder Scrolls Online, there is almost no difference between playing a Red Guard and an Argonian. And not just them, but any race, any gender, whatever. They do their best. I think it's so,
and your madness is the method and the melody.
I think it's so that they don't have to, you know, have different versions of the same line. But they do everything they can, not to mention gender or race or anything like that. So I've seen videos where people spend, you know, an hour or more choosing their race, their skill set, what kind of armor they're going to wear, all of this, carefully crafting this character that's going to represent them. But they get out into the world and nobody even notices.
Hey, Indigo! Everything
So,
okay with you?
That guy probably called me a
Ready
KhajKeet
for adventure.
because of some
Something a bit
mod
simple.
I added.
Glad to hear it.
And anything that can make Skyrim diverse, I think is worth it. If I choose to be a KhajKeet, they should treat me differently as a KhajKeet than they would treat a Red Guard or an Imperial or an Argonian. Now they do a little, by the way, in some fights somebody will say, "I'll make a rug out of you, cat." So some of the hatred they wouldn't say to an Argonian, for instance, that they say to me. But beyond that, there's very little. So when you first choose your race, the guy next to the chick, I think it's Havdvar, actually says
Bit late to be
something
wandering around, isn't it?
to let you know, well, if court's still in session, it can't be too late. He says something to let you know that he knows that you chose your race. So if you're a Dunmer, he'll say something like, "We'll have your remains shipped to Morrowind." Like, that's going to make you feel better. Okay, go ahead, execute me then. As long as my remains are going to be shipped to Morrowind, I'm totally cool with it. Let's get on with the execution. But he at least acknowledges that you made a decision about your race. But for the whole rest of the game, almost 100% of the time, if you don't add mods, people don't know what race you are, they don't know what gender you are, and they treat you exactly the same. Now, some of these mods, like relationship dialogue overhaul, some of the dialogue overhauls, some of the things that change what people say to you and what you say to them, and all of that, help with this because some of them recognize your race. At the beginning of the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, the guy in the KhajKeet across from you mocks you, and I think his mocking is based on your race. But you notice the Emperor talks with you, he's seen you in his streams and everything like that. He doesn't say a single thing different to you if you're a beast race or a man race or anything like that. I think this is one of the reasons, well, it's weird. I was going to say it's one of the reasons why at the end of Oblivion you can't be made emperor. In none of these games are you ever made emperor. And I think one of the reasons is because they expect the emperor to be human. But I don't know, because I've been reading these history books in this game. And the history of the Empire, book 1, I think, says that there have been emperors that were not human. So I don't know. And if they're calling you Dragonborn in the Elder Scrolls V, Skyrim, then they're saying somehow your family line is in all this Tiber Septim stuff and remain Cyrodiil, right? I mean, I'm guessing. I don't know. I don't really do lore too much. But if that's the case, then we have to believe that humans can interbreed with cats and with reptiles like Argonians. But we don't see any evidence of that throughout the game. You don't see anybody that's half human, half Argonian. You don't see anybody that's half Argonian and half Dunmer. You don't see a Bosmer Argonian half-breed. You don't see anybody that's Imperial and Dunmer half-breed. So I think that would make the game much more interesting, and I think it would be much more epic. I think the problem, of course, would be if the game was about taking the throne somehow. Like, imagine Oblivion if you actually played it. And so at the end you take the throne. Well, that would be it. And Bethesda has played with games where you get to the end and that's it. Fallout 3 originally had an ending, and then you couldn't play beyond the ending. Then the DLC came out and you could play beyond the ending. Fallout New Vegas, which wasn't done by Bethesda, but was done by Obsidian under the good graces of Bethesda, it has an ending. You need mods to play beyond that ending. And so you would have a hard-coded ending if... I mean, first of all, you'd have to answer all those questions of how can I be one of 10 different races and one of 2 different genders? And by the way, you know, in the Elder Scrolls 6, maybe there'll be 80 genders. Who knows? It might go crazy like Facebook did. But you'd have to answer the questions of how could I be one of these 10 races and be in the Tiber Septim line or something like that. And when you got to the goal, that would be the end. I mean, because people aren't going to treat you the same. Let's say you get through the plot. Now you've been made emperor and all of that. Well, you can't go back. You can't go out as emperor doing fetch quests. My dagger is a family heirloom. Some bandits stole it from me. And there's this cave called the Cave of the Rusty Dagger down in Riften. Could you go get it for me, Dragonborn? You can't have that. Nobody's going to tell the Emperor to do such a stupid thing. And the Emperor isn't going to go do it without a bodyguard. By the way, I don't know why these people are sitting in court since they're not saying anything, but if I try to say something to them, they'll complain and tell me not to interrupt court. Does this look like court to you? To me, it looks like a woman sitting on a chair and people standing around saying nothing. I'd like to believe that they're listening to my lecture and they're taking notes and remembering it all and all of that, but probably not. Anyway, I am thinking of putting an end to this particular particulosity, this video, since we made it to Solitude, and then in the next video we could go out and explore Solitude, see what it has to offer, maybe do a few quests, whatever, and start exploring. This is the part of the game where I generally want to get to every city without using the fast travel or carriage. I want to get to every city in the game, meet the people, see what's going on and all of that. I also want to find Elder Gleam Sanctuary on the east side of the continent or country or province, and the place where we find the wall on the west side of the map. It starts with a K. It's not Carthwassen, I don't think. But anyway, where all the Forsworn are. I like to find those two places early on in the game as well. So, I'm going to ask you, beg you, to give us a thumbs up on this video when you see it. Watch the video all the way through. Give us a thumbs up, leave some comments. Subscribe to our channel, The Poorly Aging, Sarcastic, PC Witty Gamer. And we'll see you next time. Keep watching. We're going to get better at this. We really are. And have a good day. This is your Poorly Aging, Sarcastic, PC Witty Gamer. Signing off for now.